We are live once again. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. I am your host, Amir Sharaz Ortiz, aka Poppy Ortiz 02 on Twitter, Instagram. Please follow me on both requests. I will request back. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for following. If you're not watching live, it's okay. I don't blame you. Life gets in the way. And please share. Watch the show at your own convenience. I'm trying to get this out to everybody. I think we're good. I think we're live. We are good. Thank you for everybody. We're here. We're here. Another week. Another week of baseball. Like I said, life gets in the way, and I'm kind of somber. I'm kind of down. This has actually been a tough week this week. And I would say, obviously, not for me. My heart, my thoughts go out to the family out there in Uvalde, Texas. This is kind of somber. I'm gonna close with them as far as my story, as far as I'm, just trying to get my head together. So excuse me, and I apologize in advance. This is tough. Because we're enjoying life. We're enjoying baseball today. We're enjoying sports. We're enjoying those things that keep us going. And above all, we are alive. Yeah, man. I didn't want to start off like this. I really didn't. And I'm gonna get to them. I'm gonna get to the stories. I'm gonna get to the shootings down in Uvalde, Texas, at the end of the show. And I'm somewhat gonna try to tie in together with sports. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to talk about baseball. We're here to talk about sports. Pride and Passion Baseball Talk. All sports matter. All sports matter. Sports talk, Excuse me, I'm trying to get my bearings together because this hasn't been easy. I traveled the last 24 hours just to get my kids. Not for that reason. It was just my time to get them. But obviously, you give extra hugs to your kids when things like this happen. So let's just get to what we're here for. Let's get to a big story developed between the weekend. It was the weekend starting. This story has actually developed in the last few years, but it was a big deal this weekend between the Yankees and the White Sox. And I'm gonna get it together. Y'all work with me. Comment, please. Comment, share, comment, like, heart. Do all of that. Do all that on Facebook. I will try to get to all the comments, all the questions while I am doing this show. But as you can see there, if you don't know who they are, Tim Anderson and Josh Donaldson. Why are we talking about them? So this weekend it was not really a scuffle because in sports nobody really fights anymore. They're like the guys are in the back, hold me back, and they're pointing at each other. One is yelling at the other, but ain't nobody saying anything. But this time something was said. Josh Donaldson called Tim Anderson Jackie in reference to Jackie Robinson, number 42, the great Jackie Robinson. Why? If you haven't followed the story, if you haven't read it on your own, or even if you don't care to follow, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you anyway. Why? This is what I do. I'm gonna tell you facts. I'm gonna show you facts. I'm gonna get through to what happened between these two. And this started in 2019. In 2019, Tim Anderson was being interviewed by Sports Illustrated. And I'm going to quote it because, again, I will give my opinion here in a minute, but I want the facts. We're going to stick to the facts and nothing but the facts. I think that was a Leslie Nielsen quote, by the way, in Naked Gun, somewhat a baseball movie. Tim Anderson said to Sports Illustrated, and I quote, "I kind of feel like today's Jackie Robinson. As he used to say, but it's cool, man, because he changed the game. And I feel like I'm getting to a point to where I need to change the game." End quote. That's big time. That is big time. Uh, Again, this is that's a fact. Quick opinion. Me being Puerto Rican, if I was playing baseball, which I wish I was, trust me, I wish I was. That's like me saying today, I want to be the next Roberto Clemente. Well, I am. Not want to be. Again, he didn't say he wanted to be. He said, I am. Well, I feel like, which is the same thing as I am. It's like me saying, I am Roberto Clemente. And that's just, I'll tell you right now, the Puerto Rican community will bound me, gag me, tie me, tar and feather me, whatever. The last thing they're not doing is cooking me pernil and arroz con gandules because they're telling me, you brother, are not the next Roberto Clemente. You know, so why is he not being held accountable? You know, so I think that's one of my issues. In 2019, maybe it wasn't publicized, obviously, but if I am a African American teammate, I'm like, bro, really? Really? Again, that's opinion, my opinion. The sports, Pride of Passion Baseball Talk opinion. Guess what? I'm your host. So therefore, we have the same opinion. Ha. Now, Tim Anderson called himself Jackie Robinson 2019. Josh Donaldson joked back in 2019. He already called him Jackie back then. The reason we didn't know about that or we wasn't following that, the Tim Anderson just pretty much just looked at him and said, hey, man, we ain't cool. We ain't cool like that. All right, chill. That was it. Left it alone. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Now, for those of you that do follow baseball, know that Josh Donaldson, he is an antagonizer. He is a crap talker. He likes to poke the bear. That's just who Josh Donaldson is. I'm not giving him an excuse. I'm not giving him an out. I'm not saying that he was even right. Not saying that. Not saying any of that. What I am saying is Josh Donaldson is Josh Donaldson. You know, even his own teammate was questioned, and I'm pretty sure it took Aaron Judge a couple of days to put his thoughts together because he didn't get this quote until Monday, and this happened Saturday, saying there's no space in baseball for that kind of talk, end quote. And well said, because a lot of people think or may think, and they're not wrong. Obviously, it's your opinion that this is blatant racism. Now, in Saturday's game, Donaldson came across the infield and he said it once again. I think he said something along the lines of, calm down, Jackie. What's up, Jackie? At that point, everybody kind of knew, even me, being a Yankees fan, he's wrong because he is poking the bear. That's what Josh Donaldson does. A lot of football players, a lot of baseball players, a lot of athletes have gone through and done just that. They talk smack to talk smack. Sometimes it's a little bit too much. Sometimes it's oddly specific, just like in this case it was. And I'm not defending Josh Donaldson again, but if you guys follow Josh Donaldson in the past years, he actually followed a baseball player, no coincidence, of the Chicago White Sox, Lucas Giolito, to get in a fight with him in a parking lot of Chicago Stadium after the game because they argued over that spider tack. The same spider tack the MLB banned last season. The same spider tack that Josh Donaldson talked smack to his own present teammate, Garrett Cole. And they had to go to Garrett Cole and ask him, hey, is it okay if we trade for Josh Donaldson? Everybody knows Josh Donaldson likes to push buttons. Again, I'm not excusing him. I really believe he's wrong. He is wrong. Pushing buttons is one thing, because if he got slapped in the mouth, that too would have been welcome. Everybody reacts differently. But we live in a different time. A lot of people are either keyboard warriors or they know there's going to be a mob in front of them to block the fight actually happening. Times has changed. A lot of sports people will say eras matter. That's a quote to Marcus Betts. Y'all want to tag him? Cool. Eras matter. Got it. It does. But Josh Donaldson is Josh Donaldson. Again, I am not condoning what he did. I'm not. But a lot of players knew or know the type of player that he is. Now, Major League Baseball did give him a 1-game suspension. That's, to me, that's the bare minimum. The bare minimum. Now, I believe, and I'm sticking to the facts here, a 1-game suspension has nothing to do with racism. That was just sending a message saying, hey, knock over the crap talking, ease up on the bear poking, stop being Josh Donaldson, and get to playing baseball. That's all it was. So with that being said, today and this morning, I'm going to read it word for word. I'm going to move on from here. Josh Donaldson actually released a statement. He released a statement, and it reads, and I quote, "First and foremost, I have the utmost respect for what Tim Anderson brings to the game of baseball. I stated over the weekend that I apologize for offending Tim and that it was a misunderstanding based on multiple exchanges between us over the years. My view of that exchange hasn't changed, and I absolutely meant no disrespect. In the past, it had never been an issue, and now that it is, we have a mutual understanding. I would also like to apologize to Mrs. Rachel Robinson and the Jackie Robinson family for any distress this incident may have caused. Jackie was a true American hero, and I hold his name in the highest regards." End quote. Now, if I'm analyzing this, I think the only thing that really, not the only thing, a big thing that stood out is my view of that exchange hasn't changed. In other words, he ain't really sorry. He just saying, I'm going to talk crap. That's who he is. Again, this is my opinion again, and I'm not going to speak for Josh Donaldson. I won't speak for Tim Anderson. I definitely won't speak for the Jackie Robinson family. But that one line is saying, I said what I said. Sorry if it came out wrong, but I said it. Oh, well. Now let's move on. Let's see where your team stands. Let's change the dynamic here a little bit and see where your team stands in the standings. I tell you, English is my second language, maybe my fourth language at this point. So forgive me. I get tongue-tied a little bit. As you can see, my New York Yankees stand atop not only the American League East, but Major League Baseball with a 31-13. Now, they did have a 3-game slide last week. They lost to those White Sox twice and the Baltimore Orioles in a 3-game slide. And it's going to happen. And I actually think they're going to take a step back here in a little bit. Actually, in the coming weeks. They lost Chad Green for the year, which is huge. The main setup guy. Aroldis Chapman for at least 10 games with an Achilles injury. Giancarlo Stanton, who's on fire. He's out for at least 10 games with an ankle irritation, as they say. Man, we say sore ankle. They always, go above and beyond. It wasn't a pretty weekend for the Yankees. It wasn't. They won the last couple games based upon their pitching, and that's the reason why they're plus 68 in the run differential, as you guys can see. And it's not because of their hitting. And granted, they are getting timely hits, count for the RBIs, but their pitching has been on fire. Garrett Cole, Luis Severino, nasty Nestor Cortez, who's out of nowhere, probably got the best ERA in the league. Jameson Taillon is holding his own. And on the backside of that pitching rotation is Jordan Montgomery, who needs run support to win. So Yankees are going to see a couple. I think they're going to slow down a little bit. That the Dodgers will overtake them in the power rankings here in the next couple of weeks, and I will get to that here in a minute. But holding on to that second spot, and you can never sleep on the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are doing their thing. 26-17. They got quite possibly the top two pitchers in the American League right now, and I'm gonna get to them in a minute when I go over the power rankings. A little above mediocre is the Toronto Blue Jays, 23-20. They're winning like every other game. I think they're disappointing. That's just my opinion. Again, I picked them to go to the World Series, and I'm not sticking to it, obviously, but I was being realistic. I was not trying to be biased. And bringing up the rears, the Red Sox and Orioles. But with that being said, the Red Sox have been on fire. Who's the best hitter in the game right now? Pure best hitter goes to Manny Machado. And I'm gonna get to him. When I talk about the Padres. But I was answering the question there. Tito, Manny Machado is just killing it. Mike Trout is not that far behind. Mike Trout is Mike Trout. But Boston, I believe they had won like 6 in a row before cooling down here the last couple of games. Trevor Story finally figured out that he was Trevor Story. Let me earn some money, get $20 million a year. The least I can do is hit a couple home runs. Trevor Story is waking up. And that is your American League East. Let's get to the Central. The Central standings, and forgive me if I start yawning, because that's what I do when I see these standings. When I want to talk about the Central, Minnesota is actually surprisingly playing good baseball, very good baseball. Being at 27-17 as a team that I thought made some surprise moves in the offseason when they acquired Carlos Correa, Gio Urshela, Gary Sanchez, Sonny Gray on the mound, and obviously that team runs through Byron Buxton. He's hurt these last few weeks. He started off on fire, but if he comes back, this team might not do damage in the playoffs, but I can see this team taking the division, which is huge, considering the Chicago White Sox was the odd-on favorites going into this season. And the White Sox had a lot of injuries early, but they're struggling. They're struggling. The Guardians, the Tigers, and the Royals are just there. They're just there. Let's get to the West. Now, here's the two-headed monster, I like to call. Houston Nationals been on fire. I hate to say that. Not a dumpster fire, get it? But they've been on fire. Okay? Now, the LA Angels is literally right behind them, and that's amazing for baseball. I said it 2 weeks ago, and I keep saying it. The Angels can be competitive. That's huge for baseball. LA needs baseball, not just the Dodgers. Just like New York needs the Yankees and Mets. LA needs the Dodgers and Angels. Because the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, I think I got it right finally, it's huge. If these guys can get it together, and they got one of the best pitching rotations in the league, and I'll get to them when I talk about the pitching I'll talk about the pitching rotation when we get to the power rankings. Texas, Oakland, and Seattle. Quick fun fact, Seattle hasn't been in the last place since like 2009. They never even sniffed last place, which is crazy to me. So they've always competed this early, fell off, but always never fell off beyond fourth place. So these are your American League standings. Let's get to the National League. Still got the Mets on top. Now, not sure if it's good Mets or bad National League East. Still trying to figure that out. But they're holding on. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing with a plus 45 run differential. They're hitting the crap out the ball. There's nothing wrong with their lineup. A lot of wrong with their pitching. Edwin Diaz, their closer, just blew a lead. They brought up a kid from AAA, and he gave up like 11 runs or something like that in the inning. They Yeah, definitely. Good Mets and bad everybody else. No doubt about that. The best team in the National League is the Dodgers, and we'll get to them in a minute. But the Mets here are very fortunate that they're playing in a bad National League East. And I want to say it's not going to change. And I get it. We're only 2 months in, and baseball is a long season, six months. But I do not see it changing. I'm sorry, Fleck. Your Braves are just not that good. I don't know any Phillies fans. Oh, yeah, Lomar Webb. Your Phillies are just not that good. Miami Marlins, I would say I had a Cuban friend, but I think I banned him from the group because he got annoying. But he was a Marlins fan. So if it ever gets back to him, sorry, your Marlins are just not that good. And the Washington Nationals, I don't even know if anybody's in D.C. Trump. Your Nationals are just not that good. I don't even know if he represents the Washington Nationals. I just thought D.C. and just saw him. Biden, your Nationals not that good? I don't know. The East is just not that good. They're not even competitive. The Phillies are getting blanked every other game. The Braves just went through a span, and I think I wrote it down somewhere that they're losing 2 out of every 3 games. That's not competitive. They just got killed by Milwaukee, I believe. Yeah, Milwaukee just killed them. They're just not competitive. And if the Mets continue on winning 2 out of 3, while Atlanta, Philadelphia, Miami, Washington losing 2 out of 3, common sense will say they're done. Now, there might be a chance to play for a wild card. There might be a chance to trade deadline, like the trade deadline last season woke up the Braves because they were above 500, but they were struggling, and that woke them up. I think they had the best trade deadline out of anybody last season, so it's possible, So we'll see. Let's get to the Central. Yeah, Milwaukee is playing like a playoff team like they did last season. Milwaukee is playing like a playoff team like they did last season, and that is good for them, bad for the rest of the Central, So this is when you think about a bad National League East, we're looking at an even worse National League Central. This is not even a 2. St. Louis is hanging around. I'll give them that. But their pitching is definitely not helping them. And no, the Brewers beat the Braves 2 out of 3 last week. But so you distracted me, Fleck. Focus. Cardinals are doing their thing. They need pitching. The Cardinals, I believe, in the trading deadline will pick up some pitchers, and or Xander Bogaerts if the Red Sox decide to trade him because they may or may not be able to re-sign him in the offseason. That's a huge boost. They just demoted their shortstop who came to the season. What's it called? DeJong was their shortstop, I believe. They brought up Edman to get in there, but they're weak at shortstop. But they need some help. Tyler O'Neill was hurt or has been hurt. Goldsmith is actually doing pretty good. Arenado's doing pretty good. So Pujols is actually holding his own, just being Pujols at 85. He's doing his thing. So you never know. A wild card is definitely in the works for the St. Louis Cardinals. Cubs, Pirates, and Reds is winning more now than it did to start off the season. But this division is only here so they don't get fined. Quoted Marshawn Lynch. I guess I'll take it from him on that one. They're only here so they don't get fined because they're not doing anything else. They sure as heck ain't playing baseball. I'll tell you all that much. Let's get to the West. Quite possibly the best division in baseball. I'll say this is the best division in baseball right now. Dodgers, Padres, Giants, Diamondbacks, and the Colorado Rockies. The Dodgers, ever since I believe they lost 2 out of 3 to the Pittsburgh Pirates like 2 weeks ago, They said, nope, can't do that anymore. They went on a streak where they won like 6 in a row. Now they're the last 10, they're 8 for 2. But that run differential plus 101, that's insane. They are beating the crap out of everybody. So they finally woke up and said, we can't lose to a bad team. And all they're doing now is all we do is win, 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 no matter what. I guess I'll quote T-Pain. I'm quoting everybody today. We're literally quoting everybody. All right. So all they do is win. All they do is win. Now the Dodgers need some pitching help. I know Clayton Kershaw went to the IR. The IL is the injured list. They can't say injured reserve anymore. The injured list, the IL. And I believe Buckler, whatever you believe, Liberty Bibbity. Bueller went on the IR a couple of days ago as well. So I know Mookie Betts is heating up here. Trey Turner is doing his thing. Freddie Freeman is being Freddie Freeman. Who won that trade, huh? Because Olsen ain't done 2 craps of nothing. So, he started the season on fire. I give him that. He started the season on fire. That was the first 3 weeks of the season. But after that, he fell off tremendously. Now we got the Padres at 28-16. And they got Blake Snell back, who actually pitched 4-hit ball. They lost the other day but he's pitching 5 innings, but they got him back. Former American League Cy Young Award winner. So if he gets his crap together, Hugh Darvish is in pitching. Great being Hugh Darvish, that I guess he's only good every other season, I guess. I don't know. But this is his season. He woke up, and they have the best hitter in baseball to answer Tito's question, Manny Machado. I got some numbers here somewhere. A 361 batting average. That's just at least the major leagues. And he had 6 extra base hits in 2 days. That's insane. He's hitting the cover off the ball. All that without Fernando Tatis Jr., who I believe is done riding ATVs and motorcycles on the streets of San Diego and is ready to play some baseball. He should be back here in a few weeks, or he starts rehab assignments here in a few weeks, and he'll be a welcome addition. Now, the shortstop has been in there. He's actually a Rookie of the Year candidate. So imagine Jeremy Payne at the Astros, and where's my statistician? Fleck, give me that name. Shortstop, Padres, look him up. Put him in there. I'm drawing a blank right now, but I believe he's in the running for Rookie of the Year. So where do you play him? Where do you think the 2 wild cards will go to? Siobhan? Now, if you're not following, it's now 3 wild cards. Yeah, Major League Baseball, you get a wild card. You get a wild card. You get a wild card. And quote Oprah Winfrey. See, I'm quoting everybody today. I'm bringing everybody in here today. 3 wild cards. I think Tampa Bay. We're talking about the American League. We'll go back to American League really quick. We don't have to switch the slides or anything, but I want to answer this question. In the West, the Angels. I believe the Angels will get in there. The Rays will get in there. And the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays will get in there. So those are the 3 wild cards in the American League. The National League, I believe, San Diego, San Francisco, and the Cardinals will be the 3 wild cards. Giants, Padres, and Cardinals will be the 3 wild cards. Hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, everybody gets a wild card this year. We got 6 teams on each side making the playoffs. It's going to be a hootenanny, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be insane. Everybody making the playoffs this season. Where we had the San Francisco Giants. Yes, they're going to be a whole problem. Wait, you can't say San Francisco about to be a whole problem in these streets when Tatis get back. Come on, man. That's the quote. Let's see, Chris Carter or Randy Moss or, San Diego. My brother, San Diego and Tatis. But the Giants, this is going to be a problem, though, without Tatis. I think you just wanted me to quote a come on man moment. I got you. I slipped it in there because I'm quoting everybody today. That's today's theme. I'm quoting you. But yeah, I got the Giants. The Padres, and the Cardinals going to the postseason. And I don't think that's going to change. Diamondbacks is playing admirably. Help me with that word, somebody. Type it in. I know it's an A and a D. Admirably. See, I can't do it. I'm Puerto Rican. So we don't do these words. We don't do all those words. And I'm quoting a Puerto Rican. We can't do those words. See, I'm quoting everybody. We don't do that. We don't do that. Yeah, I know how to spell it. I can't say it. But thank you. I know I told you to put it up there. That's okay. I know how to spell. I was a 5th grade spelling bee champion. All right. But either way, I can't say these words to save my life, but I can spell it. And these are your Major League Baseball standings. With that being said, let's jump into the power rankings. Being number 1 and on top, like I said, is, I would like to say, if I will quote Bret Hart, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. I'm on a roll. I'm quoting everybody. But I can't quote them here because, you know what? We don't know. We don't know if they're going to be the best there ever will be, the best there is. You know what? I'm sticking to it. Put my foot down. I'm quoting Bret Hart. All right? He ain't going to put me in the sharpshooter because, you know, I'm sticking to it. I am still hit, man. I'm sticking to it. The power rankings got the Yankees number 1. But if I'm being not a homer, if I'm being unbiased here, I do believe they'll fall off the next couple of weeks, losing these players, losing their closer, losing Chad Green for the season is huge. Nobody knows that middle lockdown reliever that leads the league in holds. If you don't know what a holds is, look it up, people. That's the person that holds the game until you get to the closer. They finally got credit. You might give them a participation trophy. Oh well, but that's a stat. But they lost them, and that's huge. And that's going to hurt the Yankees going forward. So expect them to make a trade. They did pick up Matt Carpenter though today. Yankees signed Matt Carpenter today. He's actually in the lineup, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not watching the game because I'm doing the show. Forgive me, New York, but somebody put up a score for me because I got so many gadgets open, but no game. Somebody type a scoring for me while you can. But yeah, Matt Carpenter, former 3-time All-Star of the Cardinals, is now a Yankee. So that's huge. So let's see how that goes going forward. Where we at? What we do have, though, is MVP caliber Aaron Judge. All rise. I quoted every judge or every bailiff. Excuse me. That's a quote from every bailiff in America. All rise. Got it. Now, with that being said, 17 home runs, 34 RBIs, batting .313. All right, he's definitely in the running for an American League MVP. Thank you, Jimmy. Yankees are up 4-0. Amazing. That is a quote from Benchwarmers. I believe that was David Spade. Amazing. I'm quoting everybody today. Let's go. All right, the Dodgers here, number 2. And I expect them to be number 1 before the week is over. They're just on the road. They're just hitting the crap out of the ball. It's that simple. The only reason they're not number 1 right now is because the Yankees did go on a run. The Yankees have been on the roll. There's no fault of the Dodgers. The Yankees have been on fire. There's no way you deny the only team to be plus 30 victories with 31 wins in this season so far, obviously. You can't deny them being number 1. With that being said, I expect the Dodgers to be number 1 probably next week. Thanks to and large part of Mookie Betts. 12 home runs, 30 RBIs, batting .290. But the last 22 games has been insane. He started off slow, but Mookie Betts batting .341, slugging .410, on-base percentage of .739. That's just get on base every other time, pretty much. That's insane. The only other hottest hitter in baseball has been Manny Machado. So I believe in the National League, that race for the MVP is going to come down to Mookie Betts, Manny Machado, Freddie Freeman. National League is hot. All they do is hit. All the National League is doing is they hit. They hit the ball. So you can go either way, and you're not going to be wrong. Okay? You're not going to be wrong. In the American League, I believe is going to come down to Aaron Judge and Mike Trout. Now, I'll throw Tyler Walsh in there because that kid is having an amazing year as well with the Angels. So Those are my top three in each league right now. Obviously, that can change. Anybody can get on fire. Trevor Story can wake up and be Trevor Story. So we'll see where we at. The Astros at number 3 is being led by, surprisingly, Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander, man, we didn't say his name last season because he had Tommy John surgery. And you would think at his age, that was it for his career. Everybody was counting him out coming in. It was like, you know what? He might get you 4 innings. He was being ran out of town before the season even started. They was hoping to get Justin Verlander some innings, maybe get him back by the postseason, maybe, just maybe. But Justin Verlander said, not on my watch. With that being said, Justin Verlander, 3 straight scoreless starts. Who does that at his age? Somebody give me his age. He's either 30, 39, 40, 41, somewhere around there. We get where's my statistician? He's working. Put it there in the Google machine. Yeah, he's in there 39, 40, 41. That's just me shooting off the top of my head like I always do. But a 1.22 ERA. That's insane. That is leading the major leagues. He's 6-1. His record is 6-1. 39. Boom. Thank you, Jimmy. I'm not good. See, I shoot for the brain. San Francisco Padres. You still ain't made up for that one, Jimmy. But that's okay. Now, we're moving on. The Mets. What can I say right now? So many injuries. The entire pitching staff is taking hits. The reason I paused and stumbled because I want to talk about the hitting, but they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I want to focus right now on Tyler McGill, biceps tendonitis. Max Scherzer, strained oblique. Jacob deGrom, scalpel, his shoulder's messed up. These people got these terminologies, and that's okay. Messed up shoulder with no timetable to return. That's huge. That is huge. Can they keep this pace? They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're beating them up bad teams, but they're losing the good teams. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants last week, so there's no telling. Let me throw a name out there as a National League MVP candidate. Pete Alonso, 11 home runs, 41 RBIs, batting .275. If these Mets continue on this tear, and Pete Alonso is doing what Pete Alonso used to do when he hit 51 home runs his rookie season, you could pencil him in as a top 3, even maybe MVP. So that's your top 5 right there. Well, closing out the top 5 is the Milwaukee Brewers. Like I said earlier, they're beating on bad teams. You're supposed to. If you go to win your division, you have to beat on bad teams. And they just ransacked the National League East. They beat the Marlins, National, and Braves all 2 out of 3 games. So they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, beating on bad teams. The pitching is getting up together. Corbin Burns is finally Woodward is finally doing his thing. Eric Lauer, I told you that name. Watch out for that name. He's going to be a National League Cy Young candidate. He came out of nowhere doing his thing. All right. I think he's on the mound tonight. So Brewers is pitching. They're pitching themselves into a division title. Number 6 is the Padres. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Again, beating on bad teams. They beat up on Atlanta. I already said that. Beat up on the Phillies. But here's the thing. They're also beating up a good team. They just swept the Giants. And for the Giants, that's huge. Going to drop them from second to third. And they're only being led by Manny Machado. Batting .361, 8 home runs, 27 RBIs, leads the majors in pretty much everything. Or the nationally, I should say. That is, thank you, Fleck, 53 home runs, not 51 for Pete Alonso in his rookie season. Okay, so what we got? The Angels. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I'm pretty sure I got that right. Or the Anaheim Angels of LA. See, I always doubt myself. The Disney team. All they do is hit. They're a solid team all the way around. All right. You got with a +5 run differential, they're top 5 in ERA. So they pitching and hitting. So Trout batting .319, 12 home runs, 28 RBIs, and 35 runs scored. Trout is being Trout. If he can stay healthy, you can pencil him in the top 2 or 3 MVP season. So Tampa Bay Rays, they're consistent. They're consistent at 26-17, led by 2 pitchers you may not have heard of. If we did, you're not giving them enough credit. Shane, that I can't say. I am Puerto Rican. McClanahan and Drew Rasmussen. These teams are just, they got long names. Forgive me, all right? If I offend anybody with those names, forgive me. I can't say it. Sorry. But Shane not McMahon, McClanahan is 4-2, 2.06 ERA with 74 strikeouts. 74 strikeouts leads the major leagues. Drew Rasmussen, 5-1, 2.68 ERA with 41 strikeouts. These 2 guys are leading the major leagues in a lot of things. They're keeping the Rays with the 26-17 record. Obviously, they have a fighting chance because the Rays, they win. They're winners. And the Yankees can't take that for granted. They can't go through 3-game losing streaks like they did and expect to win a division when the Rays win 2 out of 3 games. The Twins, the surprise of the season so far, my opinion, 27-17. Like I said, these guys, they made the right trades. Carlos Correa, Gary Sanchez, Sonny Gray. Don't forget about Sonny Gray. Fun fact about Sonny Gray, matter of fact. He's the first pitcher in the last 10 years for the Twins to pitch 7 scoreless innings and strike out 10 or have 10 or more strikeouts. The only pitchers that do that for the Twins now is Jose Barrios and Irvin Santana, I think, when he pitches no-hitter. But, yeah. So the Twins and pitching doesn't really go hand in hand. And the history will tell you that they really don't go hand in hand outside when they had Jack Morris. Jack Morris, if you remember, beat the Atlanta Braves in the 91 World Series. Game 7, it was 1-0. And, yeah, I think I'm shooting from the hip here, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. If my statisticians can double-check that for me, 1991 World Series. And it's crazy because on the losing side, every time I speak, it's Atlanta Braves. And I'm not beating up on Atlanta Braves. I'm not. This is literally pure coincidence. They just come up on the losing side every time. So, 91 World Series, and I believe, yeah, because 92 they played the Blue Jays. So, yeah, 91 World Series, Game 7, Jack Morris, shutout. And I believe the only run was a Kirby Puckett sac fly, scored Danny Gladden. My God, I remember this was yesterday. I'm talking about 1991, people. This is crazy. And rounding out the top 10, the San Francisco Giants. I do expect them to fall maybe just a little bit. They will go between the Toronto Blue Jays, who probably is 11 or 12. But the Giants are struggling. Their pitching is struggling. With a 4.33 ERA here in May. And that's what they was known for. And those are my power rankings. Let's move on to our players of the week. Obviously, it has to be Trevor Story. Geez, I know I forgot to do something. I forgot to pencil in the stats for Trevor Story. But Trevor Story probably hit like 8 home runs last week. I know he had 6 in like 3 games. But if you get the stats up there in the comments for Trevor Story and Sandy Alcantara for me, Miami Marlins, Sandy Alcantara, I totally forgot to put up the stats. I could easily Google it, but we're kind of short on time. So Trevor Story is resurging the Boston Red Sox, and I hate to say that because obviously my tongue won't let me speak those facts. But the Red Sox are creeping their way up to 500. I believe they're 20-23. So, and I'm pretty sure sooner than later they'll be 500. But while they're under 500, can I enjoy this, guys? Can I? Is that okay? I'm pausing because I am assuming. Yeah, see, 8 home runs. What do I need Google for? I know this stuff. You know, I'm pausing for dramatic effect because I'm assuming everybody out there that's watching the show is shaking their heads with me when I say it's good that the Red Sox are not 500. So I know you guys are with me. There's more non-Red Sox fans than they are Red Sox fans, and that's okay because yeah, that's a dismal batting average, 224. So it's either a home run or bust, which doesn't really. I guess it gets you paid $20 million a year, but it doesn't really get you a win or a Red Sox win. Thank you for that. And that's my players of the week. Sandy Alcantara, I believe, pitched twice last week, pitched a shutout, won both of those games, probably a sub-1 ERA, if we can throw that up there eventually. Again, I like to keep you guys honest. I like to shoot from the hip, but I'm here to prove to you guys that I know what I'm talking about. Baseball is in my blood. Baseball is in my brain. Baseball is in my drink. Baseball is on my TV 24/7. I live, breathe baseball, so this is what I enjoy to do. With that being said, what I also enjoy to do is I enjoy to live. I enjoy to live life to the fullest. And a lot of kids didn't get that chance to do so. And I quickly, I'm going to, this is unfortunately my story time. Story time with Poppy. This is, I would be remiss if I didn't do it. Let's go back in time. Again, I came about this. I was torn. I was torn to even do the show. I was torn to what am I going to speak about. I got 1,000 stories when it comes to baseball because this is what I enjoy most. But this is a game. Baseball is a game for kids. And many kids are not going to get a chance to do that. The time is April 20th, 1999. And for those that don't know, at that time, it was Columbine, the Columbine shootings. Now, with that being said, at that time, it was the biggest school shooting of its kind. Unfortunately, it has been surpassed. But we go back to April 20, 1999. And I'm trying to tie it somehow into sports and somehow into life and obviously into death. And how did this affect me? And I always get personal. For those that know my story times, I get personal. I always get personal because I want you guys to know who I am. Who is Amir Sharwaz Ortiz? And April 20, 1999, as I'm watching the TV and I'm watching this unfold, 10 days later, my first child came into the world. April 30th, 1999. You know what? I done messed up. March 30th, my child came into the world. Sorry. I'm tongue-tied. I'm trying to get it together, guys. My child was here. I'm probably holding my child, or my ex-wife is holding my daughter, and watching this shooting. 15 people died that day as 2 kids walked into the cafeteria and opened fire. I believe it's the cafeteria. If it wasn't the cafeteria, it was the library, but I think it was the cafeteria. But that day, the Rockies postponed 2 games. Okay. Again, I'm trying to tie sports into life, into death, into me. The Rockies postponed 2 games. Now, since then, since April 20th, we've had over 300,000 kids exposed to gun violence in schools. That's obviously that's a accumulation, but we did have 554 who were victims. either wounded or killed. And I love numbers. If you know me, or if you want to get to know me, I love facts. I love numbers. I love facts, and I will never steer you wrong. Um, and again, this is big for me. And we're talking about over 330 schools that have been affected since April 20th, 1999. We're not just talking about the Parklands or the Sandy Hooks, or even yesterday, Tuesday in Uvalde. There's many, many, many more, many kids senseless. And I'm not here to tell you to pick a side. I'm not here to do what you got to do. I'm just telling you to cherish your kids. The kids should not be able to go to school scared or wondering. It's a place of education. Again, I don't pick sides. I don't, whether side you're on, that's fine. I don't knock you. But I'm just hoping it gets better. I'm hoping it gets better. And I'm trying to keep it positive, and I'm trying to. 1999 was a great year for me personally, being a first-time dad. The Yankees won the World Series 1999, beating don't hate me, Fleck, beating the Braves 4-0. Everything comes back to the Braves. I don't know. I don't see what's going on here. It's all coincidence. I swear to you, it's all coincidence. This is not a beat up the Braves sports podcast. This is all coincidence. They beat the Braves. They swept the Braves, matter of fact, 4-9. Do something. It was like that meme. I'm quoting the meme now. Get it? I'm quoting the meme. I said, do something. That's crazy. I'm quoting a meme. Man. I love you too, Fleck. I'm just trying to make sense of everything. And I'm not on my soapbox. I'm not about to tell you what to do, what not to do. Just love your babies. Love other people's babies. I love my best friends, my brothers. I love on their babies. Man, another somber note. We lost Ray Liotta today. It's just down a few days, kind of tied to sports. Field of Dreams. He played Shoeless Joe Jackson in Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams, if you haven't watched the movie, has inspired the baseball game now, in the Field of Dreams that they're doing currently. I love it. Fun fact, and many of you may not know this, he was in Field of Dreams 2. There was a part 2. It was a football movie, and he played Roger Goodell. That mind blown. My research led me to that. Mind blown. He played Roger Goodell. But Ray Liotta, one of the greatest actors of our generation, my generation, 67 years, died in his sleep this morning. Rest in peace. May his family have peace in the situation. Yeah, man. Watch some baseball, guys. Watch some baseball. Watch sports all together. Tomorrow, we'll be back on live on the All Sports Matters podcast as we discuss the NBA playoffs, mental health challenges. Unfortunately, we will touch on that with Naomi Osaka and tennis. It's definitely a sad story. Mental health is something that we have to be advocates about. Okay, I'm just an advocate. I'm quoting Paul Heyman. I'm quoting everybody today. Man, it just coming to me. This is just coming to me. But thank you for joining my show today. Please share. Please share. If you don't watch it live, if you haven't watched it live, bits and pieces, just watch, share. That's the main thing that we're doing. We're still young. We're still new. We're still fresh. We're doing this thing together. We're doing what we're doing. That's Loving on Baseball. Thank you for watching. Please share, and I'll see you guys next week.
Jimmy, one out in the ninth, 6-5 Philadelphia. Stottlemyre and Castillo throwing in case of extra innings. Fastball is hit to left field, down the line, in the corner, home run! Joe Carter hits the 2-1 pitch over the left field wall. And the Toronto Blue Jays come back with 3 in the bottom of 9th inning to become the world's champions yet again.